everybody. Glad you're with us here. It is a Friday, Longshore and McKnight. I'm set up here at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Barry on the road with Troy Baseball, which I believe I might have the city right. Huntington, West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yep.
Oh, wow.
I am in West Virginia in Huntington. Troy Baseball tonight at 5 o'clock Central Time against Marshall. I am about a block away from the Ohio River and about 500 yards away from the state of Ohio, here in the upper corner of West Virginia. And beautiful weather, ready to go. John is ready to go at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville.
I'm gonna expand the photo here, Barry, a little bit. You can see I've got a beautiful Jeep Wrangler behind me, the black vehicle. I've got the Jeep Compass right here that I'm touching here at Stivers, as you can see. Maybe you can pan. I don't know if I can pan over there a little bit more. You can see it, right there. So just a couple of new features here. They've moved some vehicles around, which is nice. We can see everything that they've got here to offer. Just a few of the many great options here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. How about that? #1 volume Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership is right here in Prattville. And of course, the declaration of sales event is going on. We're going to tell you all about it here this morning to make sure you come up and see our friends. But Barry, once again, what I thought about is last night getting some draft information, some draft updates. Obviously, I don't know how to rate quarterbacks because another example of a guy I'm thinking, I'm just not sure he's going to make it in the first round. Maybe late first round, possibly. But I'm not seeing this guy being a top 15 pick. And lo and behold, the LA Rams picked Ty Simpson. I'm not so sure their head coach thought they were going to take him at that pick either, as a matter of fact. If you've seen Sean McVay, his facial expression and his comments after Ty Simpson was selected. But I don't know what it is. I think I'm a pretty good judge of talent. Obviously, I'm not.
From all those years of praising talent at Spinnaker and Club La Vila, John's been a pretty good judge of talent down over the years. That was the shocker of the first round. And I love Ty Simpson. I never can understand Alabama fans, just poo-pooing on him.
Face of the program,
dealt with a ton of injuries, was tough as can be, good leader, good kid. But everybody you talk to, Sean McVay went Landon Collins' mama on him. Sean McVay went Buck Johnson's mama on him.
A good one.
All I know is this, and I think he's good. I think he could be good.
Yeah.
But everybody, either all of the draft experts said either that it's the shocker of the first round or said that's the dumbest thing they've ever heard. I don't know that anybody likes it. I'm looking here at Yahoo Sports. And their draft grades. Fernando Mendoza gets a B+ as the Caden Proctor gets a C. Proctor,
I could have told you that.
They went back-to-back Alabama players. Dolphins drafted Caden Proctor. They give him a C at number 12. And number 13, Los Angeles Rams via a trade with the Atlanta Falcons. Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama. Grade is F. An F.
Well, maybe somebody thinks like I do. Now, listen, Ty's a great young man, face of the program, handled himself perfectly as the quarterback at Alabama, representing that school.
Yeah.
There again, I just had my doubts. The guy can sling the football. There's no doubt about it. Little hurt, little bummed up. And I'm with you. Is this a 3-year plan? Matthew Stafford's at the end of his road. Sean McVay wanted another playmaker to help Stafford to get to the Super Bowl, to win it. Somebody that could help him out. I don't think Ty Simpson is that guy. But, of all the people that are angry about it, Ty Simpson's got to be pretty happy. Listen to this, Barry. He will get a 4-year deal as the 13th overall pick, $25 million with a 5th-year option. There also is almost a $15 million signing bonus. So I got to think Ty Simpson's pretty happy today with the money he's going to be receiving as the 13th overall pick. But as you mentioned, the football world scratching their head. Well, what are the Rams doing here?
Yeah, Ty, he is not second guessing his decision to go into the draft. He is not second guessing he's not second guessing his decision not to take that big NIL money and transfer to the Miami Hurricanes. He's not second guessing any of that. Whoever it is with Yahoo Sports, and I'll hunt up his name, who wrote this piece, grade F.
Ooh.
He said, and I quote, he says, "No way. This is wild. An undersized quarterback without great traits going this high doesn't make much sense. This is such a far deviation from the current talent level and arm talent of the top quarterbacks in the league, including current Rams starter Matthew Stafford. Maybe sitting on the bench behind Stafford will unlock some latent talent in Simpson, but the back half of Simpson's season was legitimately not good. Even if he was injured, his size makes that a concern in the NFL too." I'm not saying he's not a draftable guy. Both John and I agree he can be draftable, but 13th overall pick, number 2 quarterback.
Yeah,
I am surprised as well.
I'm looking. I want to check out the LA Times today and see what they're writing about this selection as well. I can't imagine they're overly happy about it. Yeah, I get it, project, but do you take him 13th? I think Sean McVay's got a good point. Stafford's at the end of his career. Let's bring a playmaker in here. Let's bring somebody in that can help him on the offensive side to get to the Super Bowl. I get that. Ty Simpson started 15 games, been injured a little bit. They're taking a gamble. Maybe they see a big upside of it. Sean McVay doesn't seem to think so. But you mentioned Caden Proctor going the pick earlier to the Dolphins. You know what stood out to me, Barry, is Alabama had more picks in the first round than Georgia did. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I thought Georgia was loaded. Got all kind of 5 stars over there. I don't know, it just kind of struck me. Notre Dame did well in the first round.
Yeah.
They are falling all over themselves in Arizona about Jeremiah Love. I knew he'd never end up at the Saints because too many people were talking about him. Told y'all to be quiet, zip it. But nope, the Arizona Cardinals got him. And all I'm hearing, Barry, is people are raving about that pick.
One of 2 Notre Dame running backs, along with Jadarian Price, who went in the first round. I'm sure the Georgia fans are talking about that. Wait a minute. We beat Alabama like a drum in the SEC championship game. Why did they have more for? I don't get it. They shouldn't have. In my estimation, Georgia had more draftable first round guys. Number 31, the Tennessee Titans, with a trade with the Bills and the Patriots. They get Keldrick Falk, a member of the Flying Squadron at Highland Home, and a rush end from Auburn. They had that grade as an A, especially at number 31. That's kind of the reason why they give him an A, is that's great value at the 31st pick out of 32. Falk easily could have gone a lot earlier than this, so to get him at this spot is potentially incredible value. He's got elite run defensive skills already and have a better shot to rush the passer than he did at Auburn because Auburn had him playing inside a lot.
I think that's a great pick too. Great value. I'm with you there. A team that's been a little down, obviously, but I think they're heading in the right direction. Got a new stadium that they're going to be playing in. Nashville's happening. I think that's a great pick. He's a great player. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do with Caden Proctor. There again, I'm no draft expert. I'll admit it. I thought Ty Simpson would be around a little longer. I thought Caden Proctor would be around a little longer as well. I got to tell you, Barry, I do not know a lot about the player from Arizona State that the Saints picked up. We could always use some wide receiver help. Obviously, we've got our quarterback. That's not a problem. But I don't know much about this young man.
Jordan Tyson. I don't know if he's related to Mike or even to Bear's grandson. What was his name? Paul?
Mark. That's his great-grandson. Is Paul.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State, the 8th pick to the Saints. You ain't got to worry about the Jags because The Jags ain't got no first-round picks.
Uh-oh,
They didn't have anything to
good.
do. They sat that one out. New Orleans needed some extra juice on offense and took a swing here on the talented but banged up Jordan Tyson. He needs some refinement, but should be a quality starter next to Chris Olave. They needed him. I don't know much about him either. I know he's been hurt a lot. So that'll be an interesting thing to follow. There's plenty to follow on here.
Hope way offsides Jeff's okay. He said he fell out of his chair when the Dolphins picked Caden Proctor. Hope everything's okay this morning. If I would have been watching Jeff, I'd have probably fallen out of my chair too.
And you have all the stuff afterwards. And I saw it. Caden Proctor had a video immediately. I mean, when he's got the hat on and he's still up on the stage. And he says, "Hey, Dolphins fans, your boy Caden Proctor here. I'm going to tell you how you're going to get my best, ready to go to work," and, da-da-da, and all that. And I'm thinking, if you're measuring him, if you're doing all the measurable stuff, I get it. I do. I mean, he's 6'7", about 350. He moves around pretty good for a guy like that. But sooner or later, shouldn't you look at whether they can block somebody?
You would think. And Barry, if this guy turns into an all-pro in his first year, you're going to be going, huh?
Yeah.
Who was coaching offensive line at Alabama during Caden Proctor's time there? Huh?
And,
what's going on?
I didn't watch, but just a little bit in my hotel room up here on the NFL draft. I was sitting with the Troy baseball coaches, and they were talking about it. They've got, guys who are fans of other schools.
Yep.
And they did talk about this. Bob from Pike Road, he says, Sean McVay is one of the top 3 or 4 head coaches in the NFL. He is a quarterback whisperer, no question. His judgment on quarterbacks is and should be considered an expert opinion. That is what it is, even if you disagree. But, yeah, I did see that. Mention it. Bob, it didn't look like he was all that happy with it.
No.
I'm not sure that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I read body language and reaction and, maybe I read lips a little bit poorly, but I'm not sure that Sean McVay was really really informed on that.
Yeah, you think when the cameras were turned off that McVay and the general manager had a few words, a little conversation like, what the heck did you just do? You got to think McVay knew it before they actually made the selection official.
Yeah.
And I guess the general manager overrides the head coach. But I can't imagine, I don't know, maybe feelings will simmer down a little bit before the first OTA or rookie camp or whatever. But I got to think Sean McVay's going to be a little rough on Ty Simpson at first.
Hey. What is the Longshore comment? Well, if you're getting paid that much, you got to be able to take anything. The Longshore comment is if you get paid enough, they can do anything they want to.
He can bend my ear all he wants. Yeah. I could care less. Keep talking, Coach. Keep talking. Yeah.
So
not a problem with me.
Yeah.
So, interesting first round. I guess the second round starts tonight.
Yes.
Not this afternoon, but tonight.
Third round tomorrow. Yeah.
Some other SEC players that are picked, and maybe some other Auburn and Alabama players that are projected to go into the second round. Should be a lot of fun, but some surprises to say the least.
No doubt.
I would say that the first round of the draft, there were some surprises out there as well. There are no surprises here, Barry, at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, in Prattville. It's just the best deals. And so many people have taken our advice. I told you a story last week about a friend of mine that's in the market for a Ram 1500. Came up here and picked it up this week. So we're very happy about that. Another satisfied customer, one of the many. Of course, at Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer is right here in Prattville at Stivers. New, how about this? 2025 Ram 2500 heavy duties. Heavy duties. You need something a little bit more for the farm.
Oh, yeah. That can work.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Up to $13,000 off MSRP. in new 2026 1500s up to 16 grand off or 0% for 60 months. And both the Ram 1500 and 2500 all come with America's best full-size truck powertrain warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, right here at Stivers. And not just 4 or 5 they're trying to move off the lot, Barry. Every Ram here is priced to move.
John is there in the showroom at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. I'm in Huntington, West Virginia. As we get rolling, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 18 minutes past the hour here on a Friday. I'm live at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. Berries with Troy Baseball in Huntington, West Virginia. First game today, I take it, against the Thundering Herd?
Yes, 5 o'clock Central Time tonight. There may be some weather later on, but all good right now. Not as good as it is with guys getting paid on the Alabama football team. Do you wonder at all idly when your coach gets rewarded with a contract extension and a raise that gets him among the top 3 salaries in college football, that your starting quarterback and your starting tackle, 2 guys who are the linchpins of any offense, both get picked and are now they probably were anyway, that are, top 15 picks, that your offense should have looked better than it did last season?
I mean, kind of wonder.
Do you wonder how that group had games this past year where the offense was inept? That maybe it should, I don't know. If the NFL likes those guys, I don't know.
It makes you wonder, and you could point at the offensive line as a whole, but Barry, how many times did you hear me come on this program on a Monday and go, "What's up with 74? Well, what's going on over there?"
Why can't he block anybody?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's just zipping right past him, making a move, and he's just standing there. Olay block, woof, whiff. So I don't want to blame it all on 74. I think it was a group effort by the offensive line. And, there were times that Ty Simpson was running for his life, got banged up, no doubt. I'm not sure Alabama would have been as successful as they were without Ty Simpson. No running game. I'm with you. It is kind of a mystery that they were so, I don't want to say inept, but had so much trouble offensively. Got some playmakers at wide receiver, but you got to have time to throw the football to them. It is. I think a lot of people are still scratching their head on that one. As far as Kalen DeBoer, I don't have a problem. I think it's really a lot of window dressing. Hey, we've locked our coach down, gave him 2 more years. Now he's going to be here instead of 5. We got him for 7, and we gave him a little more money. As I mentioned yesterday, I think the amount he would have been making in the last year of his previous contract is like $750 less than what his new contract's paying him now. So okay, little bump. If you look at the numbers and kind of dissect them, really not that big of a bump from a salary standpoint or from a length. There again, really just adding 2 more years to his current deal. I don't have a problem with that. There again, I think it's window dressing. It's a sales pitch. Makes the recruits feel a little bit more comfortable that the guy's going to be around. My biggest problem, Barry, is why did they hide it? I mean, why did why did they wait till Wednesday afternoon at 3:15 to announce, oh yeah, by the way, Kalen DeBoer we're going to talk about his contract as well. That was at 3:15, and 15 minutes later, boop, done. It's approved. These are the details. That to me, I thought was a little didn't pass the smell test.
Maybe Sexton was in Cabo.
Could have been.
Maybe there's bad cell service there or something like that.
Could have been.
Kalen, I don't know. Also, yesterday we mentioned this, and we've kind of been tracking it. I'm not sure enough people who do what we do for a living pay attention to this as much as we have, because we both think this is kind of a big deal.
Yep.
The college football playoff meetings concluded in Texas yesterday, and there's no movement. We didn't think there would be a lot of movement on some of the big issues, which the one everybody's paying attention to is the expansion of the college football playoff. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of 12 teams, to be honest, but, I live with it and I understand the world around us. I certainly don't see a need for 16, and I absolutely, 24 is way too much, but nobody's done anything about it. It's become a big power struggle real quick, between Fox and ESPN, between the Big Ten and basically everybody else versus the SEC, and they didn't do anything about it. There's nothing happened. There's no decision that has been made. And one of the tipping points, Ari Wasserman from On3.com reports that all the decision makers, the big tipping point between the schools and the networks and the playoff committee with expanding to postseason is the loss of regular season viewership. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey confirmed that concerns over devaluing early season matchups were actively debated inside the room. Man, if we have 24 teams in this deal in the postseason, who's going to care if we have a big now I got to start looking at early season matchups. Who's going to care if we have a big early season matchup between 1 and 5, or a big non-conference matchup between whomever? Because you can lose that game, and that's no big deal. He said it was actively debated. Man, if we go to 24, we are going to devalue the regular season. What? Even want 24? A lot of the talk in the room, John, was Well, there was a quote from a unnamed Power 4 AD speaking to Outkick's Trey Wallace, who says, if we are, there are several reasons why the coaches want 24. The main reason why is job security. Hey, I made the playoff. What do you want?
Yeah.
If you make the playoff, the view is that you are bulletproof at that point, and coaches want that.
Well,
Those are two, a lot
to me, Barry, this
of
is
work
just
to get through.
To me, this is just more talk, and I'm tired of it. And I'm going to tell Sankey this when he sits down with us at media days. Commissioner, tired of the talk. I'm ready for some action. And to me, Barry, this doesn't hold water. Okay, if they feel like the ratings are going to suffer in the regular season, do they not think they're going to be through the roof in the postseason and it'll kind of even out? That's just one theory I've got. I mean, obviously, postseason football is the most exciting, great time of year. People are watching it. Okay, so what? You lose a little here, you're going to gain it back there. But how does the NFL do it? Okay, say you got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Arizona Cardinals in a 12 noon game regionally. That's not going to draw as well. But that 3 o'clock game between the Cowboys and the Giants, that's going to really rate pretty well. You know, so you kind of, it's like a give and take there. And there again, the NFL playoffs have expanded. It certainly hadn't hurt them. And I know it's apples and oranges comparing the two, but the Big Ten and the SEC are the big boys when it comes to college football. They're the ones that get all the ratings each and every year. I can't imagine, Barry, a week 1 Ohio State at Texas game is not going to be through the roof. I can't imagine a week 6 Georgia at Alabama is not going to be through the roof. They're going to promote it. They're going to market it. They're going to put it in the best window available for the most people to watch it. I ain't buying a bit of that. No way.
I got to go along. Last year, Texas and Ohio State, great game. Early season. And they were watched by a ton of Ohio State and Texas fans. But again, the average fan, they may look at it, sure, but it's not the be-all, end-all that it would be if, oh, my gosh, we're only playing 11 regular season games. We can't lose this one. It kind of loses that. Texas A&M head football. And again, there's one of the other concerns is that, once you go to 24, you're never going back. We're never going back to a 4-team playoff.
No, heck no.
We're never going back to the bowl system. We're never, once we go to 16, we're never going back to 12. Once we go to 24, we ain't going back to 4 or whatever. Once you get there, you ain't never going back. So you better get it right. And all of a sudden you get 24 and everybody's like, Texas and Ohio State's good, but it doesn't have the immediacy of, man, if they lose, they may not make we know they're going to make it. Let's just skip the regular season and just see who makes the playoff, and then we'll really start watching.
So to me, though, this is a little added twist that I think could really separate this and make it unique and profitable and watchable. If you have a 2014 playoff and the first 2 rounds are on campus, which that's what they're telling us right now.
Right.
How many games are we talking about there? How many on-campus games will be played in a playoff season in the first 2 rounds? I'm trying to do the math in my head here, but
I'll have to
maybe 8. Is that too many? Would 8 of those games be on campus in the first 2 weeks?
That sounds good. That sounds about right. If you're wrong, you're not wrong.
I mean, 8 on-campus playoff games, to me, that is just, fans are going to be knocking themselves over to get there. Wait a minute, we're hosting a playoff game? Wow, I'm in.
There is no doubt that the playoff would be highly watched. But they are concerned. They may be wrong, but they are concerned that a big old bloated postseason at the end is going to take away from the value of, man, we got to watch this, man. If they don't win this game, they're not going to make the playoff. Texas A&M head football coach Mike Elko said that the sport must preserve the punitive stakes of regular season losses. He says this, quote, "We don't need to be NCAA basketball. the beauty of our sport is that there are games at the end of the season that matter that people lose.
All right, so I'm glad you brought up the basketball because that's what I was thinking about. The big event in March is huge. It's a $1 billion event. People watch it. People are excited about it. They're filling out brackets. They're fixated on it. But I'm also told that college basketball TV regular season ratings have improved over the last couple of years. I think probably some of that is due to the fact that a lot of these star players are staying in college longer. And the general fan recognizes them, knows them. The play on the floor is better. So people are a little bit more interested in regular season college basketball than maybe they had been prior to the NIL era. I know I am, and I know Auburn and Alabama fans are because the game is better. I think that could be the same thing in college football. Look, it's still going to be a big deal when Army and Navy play and Michigan and Ohio State play and Texas A&M play and Auburn and Alabama play and all these other rivalries that we have during rivalry week. I don't care if they had a 50-team playoff. Those games are still going to be important. Doesn't matter.
Not as important. Oh, man, if we don't win this game and we don't win the Big Ten championship, we ain't going to the Rose Bowl. And if we don't go to the Rose Bowl, we're not going to win the national championship. They don't have that now.
I've used this example before. Hadn't happened, but it could. If it could happen this year. Auburn and Alabama play the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa. The next week they're in Atlanta playing for the SEC championship. And lo and behold, a month later, they're playing in the college football playoff. They could play 3 times within a month. That doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right.
I mean, that would that devalue the Iron Bowl? Hey, man, we beat you in the Iron Bowl, but you know what? We beat you in the college football playoff when it really mattered.
But that Iron Bowl sure doesn't have the oomph that it has. Oh, my gosh, if we lose, we are done.
When the Iron Bowl is played, it'll have some oomph.
Some, yeah, that'll have some.
Because nobody knows what's going to happen in the weeks ahead. But, man, that Saturday in the end of November, it's still going to be a bit. I can't believe
not as
that
big.
People are not going to go to the game. They're not going to watch the game. The ratings are going to be off because they might face each other the next week in Atlanta. Now, that might happen with, I don't know, Florida State maybe, or Georgia Tech. I can't imagine that happening with the Iron Bowl.
So what about Georgia and Georgia Tech? What about Florida and Florida State? If I'm them, I ain't voting for this thing.
Well,
and the Iron Bowl will lose a little bit of juice to it. It will. At the end of the season, everybody's saying, well, we beat you in the Iron Bowl. Yeah, but we beat you in the college football playoff, or
how about
SEC? The Iron Bowl should be the Iron Bowl. It should be when Auburn plays Alabama. Period. End of story.
The year that Auburn beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl and Alabama went on to win the national championship, Alabama fans don't care what happened in that Iron Bowl.
Exactly.
Right. Big deal.
Exactly.
But the thing is, they were there for that game. It was packed. The ratings were through the roof, but 6 weeks later, Alabama won the national championship. So it doesn't really matter what happens. The day of the event, they're going to make their money. The ratings are going to be through the roof, and they're going to try to duplicate it again a couple of weeks later. And there again, bottom line, you can say it'll take a little off the regular season and make some of these rivalry games at the end maybe not as meaningful. But you know what's going to make them forget that real quick? That money that they're making. 2014 playoff, we're going to make how much? Oh, yeah, we're in. Yeah. Count us in all day long. Goes back to a statement.
Doesn't seem like they're voting for it that way. That does seem like they're a little concerned about it.
Well, they got to put up a front. But,
okay. See, they really think like I do, but they don't want to admit that they think. That is bulletproof. God bless John and that way of thinking. He is unfreaking beaten.
It's like the
cannot win against that. They're saying that, but They
It's
know
like-
that I'm right.
It's like the old head of the college football playoff committee. I can't think of his name, but I'm looking at his face right
Bill
now.
Hancock.
Bill Hancock, sitting right across from us. I mean, not 3 feet, looking us dead in the eye, going, nope, we're not talking about a playoff. Nope, not even discussing it. No way. He walks up. Away, I look at Bear and went, oh, we're about to have a playoff.
This is what happened. One of the nicest guys in the history of sports, Bill Hancock, answered all of our questions calmly, rationally, and everything. And he did say that. He did say, well, we're having no discourse, we're having no conversation from our constituents about a college football playoff. And I'm sitting right next to John, and I thought, oh, he's not going to like that. I don't see any impetus at all towards a playoff structure. And I thought, ooh, man, that's going to shatter John. He gets up, we thank him, we shake his hand, we go to break. John takes the headphones off, and he goes, oh, yeah. And I'm like, that's exactly 180 degrees from the reaction I thought I'd get. I said, why are you excited about that? He's saying there's not going to be a playoff. He says, I know that's what he's saying. I know that's what he's saying. But that ain't what he means. And I thought he said it to our faces. And John says, man, it's coming. It's coming. He was so excited about him saying that there was not a college football playoff. Why? Because in the world of Longshore, that means we're about to have a college football playoff. I can't wait.
If he'd have sat there and broke this story, hey, guys, I want you to be the first to know. We're having a playoff. I'd have gone, oh, I don't know if I like that. Not say we're not going to have a playoff or not even talking about it. Oh, yeah.
John's texting people left and right. No, I know he said that, but this is what he means, all of the guys on the hotline. So,
hey, a couple of things on the chat line real quick, Mary. Bill from Baltimore. The Rams GM is Les Snead, an Alb. I love how they refer to these guys. Here's another good one.
His own guy. I mean, an Alb refers to him as an Alb.
Here's another one.
Don't do that.
Where did I find this? Coach Ed had a good one. Oh, about the Auburn golf team. He says, Auburn golf team, -27.
Yeah. I did see this real quick about the Auburn golf team. AuburnUndercover.com, one of the headlines, and they're covering it pretty good. I mean, they're beating the snot out of everybody at the conference championships.
Yeah.
And the headline from Kristen Clemente says, quote, a chance at history for Auburn. Quote, we're a team that wants to see how much we can win by, not just win, exclamation point. Somewhere there's a tear forming in the Phantom's eye. The Phantom's like, by gosh, I love it. Anytime, even a golf team says, we're a team that wants to see how much we can win by, not just win, the Phantom is on board with that emotion.
Yeah, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. I mean, pour it on.
You can win, but you can also win.
Yeah, I mean, in golf, Barry, if you got a big lead, I mean, you just don't start making pars and bogeys on the last 4 or 5 holes, kind of in football when you're just running it up the middle every play. You're laying it on. I mean, come on. Yeah.
When G-Mac's throwing downfield in the iron ball, yeah, all right. Well,
that's why I did like Spurrier when he was at Florida. I mean, it's your responsibility to stop us.
Me.
Yeah.
It's my responsibility to stop myself. Let's take a break. John is at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. I'm in Huntington, West Virginia. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 and have the best looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokee's over 11 grand offers 0% for 5 years. Encompasses 5 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers. New Ram, 16 grand off for 0% financing. And heavy duties, 13 grand off with Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 19 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm live here at Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Travel. Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer is right here. You just heard about it, the Declaration of Sales events going on right now. Let me tell you a little bit about the Jeep lineup. As you can see right here, I'll pan out a little bit. Right here is a Jeep Compass, this beautiful white vehicle right here. Behind me is a Jeep Wrangler. And right here, you can get the 2025 Jeep Wrangler Cherokee, the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L, over 11 grand off MSRP or 0% APR for 60 months. The new 2026 Jeep Compass, this vehicle right here, up to $5,000 off. And of course, we told you about the Ram 1500 pickups, up to 16 grand off MSRP or 0% for 60 months. So many great deals going on here, right now at Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville, where price sells cars. Barry, this is something I think you're going to hear a lot about today. Ty tells us about it. The Big Ten had more first-round picks than the SEC for the first time in years. With NIL Unlimited, we will see this continuing. Saw a lot of Ohio State guys get picked early, for instance. Caleb Downs going to the Dallas Cowboys. You know how I feel about the Cowboys, but I think that's an excellent pickup for them.
I do too. Goodness gracious, he's going to be a star in this league. He's a guy with talent, with knowledge, all of that, that has absolutely really produced. A couple of other things that you can learn by watching the NFL draft last night. I did see this, a quote from Nick Saban. In the draft last night, the pick, Peter Woods.
Yeah.
In the NFL draft, he's from Alabaster, went to Thompson. I think Thompson's had all that success. He is the first round draft choice that they have ever had. And Nick Saban weighed in. He's from Clemson. Yeah, I called a couple of games when he was there, and he's a really, really good player. Nick Saban and Peter Woods for TigerInsider.com message board guy is still a hot button item, even though he played for 3 years and was an All-American at Clemson. Mm-hmm. About, we're going to get Peter Woods. Man, we've been after Peter Woods since he was in the 7th grade. This guy's going to be a great addition, But he didn't go to Alabama. Nick Saban last night says, we recruited Peter Woods for 5 years. He takes one visit to Clemson and commits. And I'm thinking, well, good on Clemson. Can you take a look at how Clemson recruits, what their official visits must look like? Man, if Alabama recruited him for 5 years, and Clemson gets one visit from him and he commits to Clemson, good on Clemson. Congratulations.
Must have been that slide. Maybe he liked going down that slide there.
Yeah, in the
football building.
The football building. I like that. Number two, also, there were I wouldn't call it unlimited NIL, but they've got more of it in the Big Ten than anybody else. To the trend of what the NFL wants, 9 offensive linemen were picked in the first round of the NFL draft. I'll go Principal Rooney on you. 9 times. NFL offensive linemen offensive linemen flew off the board in round number 1. There was not a whole lot of flashy talent. This was not a great draft. This will not be a great draft for skill position guys. Quarterbacks, running backs, a few wide receivers, But for the first time in the common draft era, the first 2 running backs selected, Jeremiah Love at number 3 and Jadarian Price at number 32. This is something I read. For the first time in the common draft era, the first 2 running backs selected, Jeremiah Love at number 3, and I mentioned Jadarian Price at number 32, came from the same school, from Notre Dame. That's from yahoosports.com. And I thought, wait a minute, Ronnie and Carnell. Ronnie Brown and Carnell Williams were selected both of them in the top 5 in the draft. Am I not right? Can somebody double check me on that?
Sounds about right. That was a heck of a duo.
That Auburn that year, yeah. I don't think that's right. I think Carnell was number 5. Ronnie Brown was actually number 2 in that draft. That was the year. That was 2005, where Auburn had 4 guys selected in that draft. The Carlos Rogers was selected in that draft. And gosh, who was the other one? Auburn heads. Those were the years. Jason Campbell. New stand. Jason Campbell was selected with the 25th pick. You had Ronnie, you had Carnell. You had Carlos Rogers and Jason Campbell. Auburn fans, remember how good you had it?
Man, that was a golden era, Barry. Man.
Remember that? Keldrick Falk is a great player. Man. But he's it. It's been a little while now. Auburn, there is no reason in the world why Auburn can't get back to that type of consistently good player. Yeah, Bill from Baltimore. Remember this, guys? I know Andre Bruce, number 1 pick overall.
Yeah.
Bill from Baltimore says, I do love Bo getting drafted number 1. And he said, to the Bucks because it killed his senior season of baseball at Auburn. That is a true story. They used to be a proper football school. They used to have number 1 draft picks. They used to have first-round draft picks and everything. And you can get back there, Auburn. You can.
Bill, I used to see Andre Bruce up at the Shell station on Vaughn Road getting coffee. I hadn't seen him in a while. I don't know if he's still in Montgomery or not. Barry, as you mentioned all those great players, I just had to go back and think about those days back when we were in radio and we would have equal jawing going at each other. And I've talked about this a lot lately. That's why I'm wanting Auburn to get back to where they were at that point, because it made what we do, I don't know, not that we don't love it and it's not enjoyable today, but it just went to another level.
It was a little easier.
And Bama were good. They're going at it, all day. And I miss some of those guys. Man, those are some great times.
Yeah, Coach Ed says this is where John interjects. How has Auburn fallen so far, so fast? Well, the only thing I got to say about John, is that it ain't been fast. It has been a long time since Auburn was at that point.
Coach, I thought about that same statement yesterday, or was it the day before, when somebody sent me a text. Yes, it was on the River Region Straw VIP text hotline.
Of course.
That the Lady Tiger softball team got beat by Sanford or somebody.
Got beat by Troy on Wednesday.
And
that shut out.
first thing that entered my mind, how have they fallen so far so fast?
Well,
what's going on over there at the Jane B. Moore softball facility?
Given the fact, obviously, that Troy's pretty good. They didn't lose a midweek game all year long in softball. But it was curious, John. Auburn gets shut out by Troy or by Oklahoma or whoever. Auburn gets shut out in that game. Troy walked 8 players.
Ooh.
Troy had 8 walks in that game, and Auburn still didn't score. Anyway, back in the day, this is the tone of it, and this is what John's talking about, and I think back, and a little tear forms in my eye. Now you look, and you got the Bob from Pike Roads. Hey, Lee County this, Lee County that. All they're good at, the stuff that Auburn is good at and proficient at, all they're good at is golf and equestrian and cow tipping. They're good at some things.
Well, they got beaten equestrian this year, too. Check out South Carolina.
Well, people get beat. I mean, it does happen. But in the national semifinals or the quarterfinals, it used to be, well, Auburn is really, really good. Well, Alabama's really, really good, too. Nowadays, it's like, well, Alabama's really good. They're so much better than Auburn, and the Auburn fans have to say, well, yeah. We'll get back. Back in the day, it was Auburn was really good. Alabama was really good. Yeah, but you guys pay your players. We do not. You guys pay your players. Well, you guys give ice cream to players afterwards, after, like Jawan Simpson or something like that. Or, you guys go on boat trips and you guys get free clothes and you guys have got a quarterback that obviously, even though the NCAA didn't find anything out about it, obviously got paid There used to be some conversation points because Auburn and Alabama at that point were right at each other. And now it's like John can say, well, just look at the recent records. When's the last time Auburn won? And Auburn fans have to go like, Yeah.
That's believe it or not, and viewers and listeners out there today, there was a time that actually Auburn was on top. And Bama fan was down here keeping their mouth quiet. And they're thinking,
listen to them now. Listen to him.
Over here?
Don't immediately throw your toaster strudel at the screen right now. There was that time. He's not losing his mind. He's speaking the truth there.
Bama fans sit there and take it.
Stand it.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand it.
Things do happen. Maybe Auburn is working their way back. I have a lot of confidence that that's certainly what they're trying to do. I don't have any doubt about that. Can they get there? We will see, but it has been tough over the last couple of years. I think that's pretty obvious. It's not tough here at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because the declaration of sales event is going on right now at Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealership. You know, the Ram truck, very, very popular, and all Rams come with America's best full-size truck powertrain warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. You need something a little bigger, a little more durable, something from the farm, construction site. The Ram 2500 heavy duties, up to $13,000 off. You heard me right. How about the Ram 1500? You see them all over the place. Had a friend of mine buy one just last week here at Stivers. Ram 1500s up to $16,000 off, or 0% for 60 months. Just a few of the many great deals going on. We've told you about the Jeep lineup here, the Jeep Compass, the Jeep Wrangler, here behind me here at Stivers in Prattville. Come check it out. These people will put you in the ride that you've been dreaming about. Let's make it a reality where price sells cars.
We continue on with our show. In a moment, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. A couple of minutes to the top of the hour. Josh Harris, the money line magician, will join us here in a couple of moments, get his thoughts about the Kalen DeBoer contract extension, among other things as well. Josh, always a lot of fun to chit-chat with. He'll do that with us here at the top of the hour. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
Tell all your family, tell all your friends. You'll get instant notifications. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. We just give you all the insight and the input, the info, and you know when we're on. You can check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, Yellowhammer News, yellowhammernews.com. A lot of people watch us through the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. We really appreciate that. But just check us out. And, of course, the beauty of what we do, we're live every weekday morning from 7 until 9. But you can watch us or listen to us anytime on your schedule. That's what makes it so easy. I know a lot of people, run it through their Bluetooth in their vehicle when they're out and about traveling, and that's a great way to check us out as well.
Yep.
So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram is where John is. I'm in West Virginia, where it's beautiful up here. It is a long way from Troy, Alabama to Huntington, West Virginia. It is a long way, but we're glad to be here. Let's see. Monday morning, I believe I'll be in Greenville, South Carolina with that show. And then on Tuesday morning, I'll be in Athens, Georgia. I feel like we ought to have some sort of a game for people paying attention or something like that. A little bit later on, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Here's what we're talking about.
And Barry, real quick, I did notice on the River Region Straw chat line, maybe Chris the Bammer did not check the NBA scores, because I did see something up there. How'd the Phantom do? Which normally is an indication that the Phantom might have taken it on the chin. More on that in about 20 minutes. But come
on, Chris the Bammer.
Chris, you better check the scores.
Yes. That's always important ahead of time.
Yeah.
The other things going on before we get a little Josh, and the world needs a little bit of Josh. Yesterday, we mentioned baseball got started. Alabama played at Tennessee in baseball.
Oh, okay.
Last night in Knoxville on ESPN2.
I missed that too.
And Alabama won it. Tennessee is not all that this year. They lose their head coach, and Alabama wins it 12-8. They had 20 runs, 21 hits. John would have kind of liked that.
My kind of
a little bit. I mean, it was 12-8 after 7, and it ended up
beautiful
12-8. Anytime. I don't know that they smoke cigars in the locker room afterwards. That's if you win the series. They play on SEC Network Plus tonight, game 2 in Knoxville. Actually, I do think this, because of weather up there, they're having a doubleheader today. I think Alabama and Tennessee are actually playing at 1:30 this afternoon and then at 5:30 tonight. So look for that doubleheader, both of those games on the SEC Network Plus. Auburn has a hyper important home series, number 11 Auburn. Yeah, some people think, oh, Auburn, they're number 11 in the country.
Really? Wow.
Taking on number 14 Oklahoma starting tonight in SEC plays at 6 at Plainsman Park. Both of those clubs are 10-8 in the league. And, of course, Troy plays tonight against Marshall here in Huntingdon beginning at 5 o'clock Central Time. So there you go. That kind of catches you up on all of that in case you didn't know. Catching you up on what's going on at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Well, you look behind, John.
Yeah, how about this? Let me pan out a little bit. Yeah, here we go.
That Compass right there.
Yeah, how about that?
Underrated vehicle.
$5,000 off right here.
That
Jeep
ain't
Wrangler.
underrated.
Yeah, got the old Jeep Wrangler back there.
Yeah.
That looks awesome as well. I bet Josh Harris would look good in one of these vehicles.
Josh Harris would look good in anything. That's not a real indicator of whether a vehicle looks good, is whether Josh Harris would look good into it. So, yeah, that's
man, look at that. Whoa, is he at the beach today? Where's this guy?
Wilmington, North Carolina, at a wedding in a VRBO with 4 pregnant women.
Oh, you couldn't wait to get outside on the porch, I can tell.
No, really, girls, I insist.
I said, I got to go outside and do my sports podcast. I'll be back. All right. Let me. Nobody bother me. No,
Josh,
I did not say that.
No. You were still living, which is an indicator that you did not say that. Josh Harris on Moneyline Magician. Can you calibrate? Can you give us a sense of your level of surprise at the news that Kalen DeBoer gets a contract extension and is going to be making upwards of $12.5 million a year?
Pretty crazy. I mean, it was a big surprise day for the Tide yesterday. Between that and Ty Simpson going 13 to the Rams,
oh boy,
it was a crazy day. I mean, I do. The DeBoer thing makes me a little bit more hopeful that he's going to figure it out, because somebody they feel confident that he's going to figure it out, and so that does take a shock. I mean, just to know that he's. I mean, we're pulling the trigger already. He's almost off the hot seat, so it's a big deal.
You know, Josh, the thing that really surprised, the extension really didn't. I mean, when you look at it, it's really just 2 more years added onto his deal. The money's not as big as his, from what he would have been making his last year of his previous contract to his new one. The money's not that big of an issue, not that big of a jump. But the thing that surprised me is we saw all these coaches that were up to get, approved by the Board of Trustees 3 weeks ago. But Kalen DeBoer's name was not on that list until 3:15 Wednesday afternoon, and it's approved at 3:30. Why the secrecy?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they didn't want anybody getting in their business. They just wanted to get it out there to us without anybody speculating before it happened. I don't know.
I wonder what the thought process was. I wonder what the factors they weighed in were on all of this, Josh, where they said, well, we got to do it. I mean, is it market? Is it results? Are they happy with the trajectory of the program? What do you read into it all if you were making the decision?
I mean, they have to feel confident that he's going to turn it around. I think they also they must be worried he's going to get another offer and leave, and they want to show confidence in him. I mean, if I'm DeBoer, just looking at the outside end, I'm thinking this is the most insecure job I've ever had. Everybody wants me gone. Nobody wants me to do, everyone wants me to do well, but everyone wants me out the door. And as a coach, or just in any profession, if people are calling for your head, that's generally tough mentally. It's something you've got to overcome. So to show that to at least show that people are there to support them, the leadership at the university supports them. You can't help what the fans say, but you can help what leadership at the university says and where they show their support. So they're probably, in my mind, they're saying, all right, we're going to support this guy. He's our guy. And let's see if he can turn it around. Because there's so much hate in the background that if you don't do something like this, he almost just feels like he's out next year if he doesn't win a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have had that same feeling, about winning the national championship. Nate Oates got a contract extension as well. I think people are happy about that. They're just not talking about it.
That's huge. The fact that we keep him year after year is kind of remarkable. I mean, he's got to be one of the hottest coaches on the market. And the fact that we can keep him coming back year after year, doing what he's doing, and really not having – we've had success pretty good. I mean, as good as success – I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination. We haven't had a national championship or multiple Final Four runs that would want to keep him here, right? That is –
Yep.
Like, we've done really well, but we haven't been elite. And Nate Oates is an elite coach. So we've got to figure out something to do to keep – it sounds like he likes being here. He likes the freedom that he has. He likes – he's able to run his program, and he ain't making bad money. So he's fine with where he is. And so if we've got to that's one that I'm surprised we're able to keep around this long with it's kind of some turmoil we've had in the basketball program. I mean, just with all the trouble and suspensions and not building a new stadium. And we've done, like I said, we've done well, but not phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you there.
Well, using that, they've had some success, but nothing phenomenal. I'm looking all over the place this morning to try to justify my thoughts last night, and it hasn't been really difficult for me to do it. Ty Simpson, the second quarterback picked, he goes what? I had it right in front of me. 13 to the Rams?
Yep.
Yay, nay, love it, hate it, totally flummoxed by it. What's your response?
I think it's as bad for him. Do you get a better? I mean, that's the best and one of the better places he could have gone. He needs a little bit of work to get behind the reigning MVP to learn from him, and then be in a position to where I know McVay said, what'd he say? Like, he's going to compete it out with Stetson. Give me a break. Stetson Bennett is 50 years old. Like, he's drunk.
He was 30 years old by the time he got done at Georgia.
Right. And then 21. Yeah, he's just – come on. Stetson Bennett's just playing around.
Yeah.
And then you get in this position. But as far as for the Rams, I don't know. I mean, just taking complete bias out, it seems like a just wild pick. I mean,
Josh, the thing, but you're in a market that'll eat you up and spit you out. And, man, if Simpson doesn't make it, that LA media is going to – I'm sure the LA Times today, I'm going to take a look at it when we get off the air today. I can't imagine they're real thrilled about it. Sean McVay certainly didn't seem to be.
Has he not coming from a market that would chew him up and spit him out?
Exactly. I mean, I'd argue, yeah, you got the LA Times there, but like, LA, Alabama, lower Alabama, they're just as heartless. Right.
Barry, are you referencing a media member that said, Ty, I think it's time to move on. I don't think you need to come back. I mean, that's all I said about the guy. I thought it was a great face for the program.
And now he's thinking, thank gosh I listened to Longshore.
Right. It was great advice. John gives awesome advice. He knew he'd be a top 15 pick and go out. And so, part of it too is I invest a lot. I have a lot of his sports cards. I've told you all about that before.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
And as far as his sports card market last night, it went up 50%. Like people were expecting draft day for that market. And we don't have to get all into it, but it's turning into a market. Like there's a lot of people investing a lot of money into it. That's one of the biggest days for the sports card market, and his just skyrocketed. And so it's just because it's not always based on your play, it's based on your popularity. And this puts him in a place to where his long-term ceiling, his ceiling just went extremely high, in my opinion. Like he's not going to come in and get, go play for the Jets, have one bad year and become Zach Wilson. He's going to go, his ceiling now makes it feel like a Jordan Love, right? Or an Aaron Rod. I'm saying some really, really good quarterbacks here, but you're going to go in and learn from one of the best there is with some really good talent. And can you just imagine if they have an offensive line, if they have a run, like Ty Simpson, you have to continue. I know we talk about it all the time, and when you look back on it, like no run game, no offensive line, like anybody's going to look mediocre with that.
That leads me to the next question. You're right. No offensive line. Then how in the hell did Caden Proctor get picked before him?
Is it possible that sooner or later somebody 6 feet 7, the fact that you're 6'7" and 350 pounds, is it possible that at some point the fact that you're 6'7", 350 masks the fact that you're not a very good offensive lineman?
I think that might help a little bit. I think it might help. I mean, yeah. It's almost like you look at that just raw talent in him, and you're like, we can fix it. He just needs, we can fix it. He's got, and maybe they found the intangibles. I'm not a pro offensive line evaluator, but like, what are some things that they're seeing? Like maybe there's small tweaks we can make to make him a lot better. But
I mentioned this earlier to Barry. If Caden Proctor becomes like on the all rookie team, or he's an all pro in his third year, we're all going to be looking back going, who were the offensive line coaches at Alabama? I mean, what the heck happened with this guy?
It is true. We've had a ton of talent that, like, when they go into the NFL, if you have these guys that just start killing it, you're going to look back and say, what were these coaches doing? Because that didn't happen a lot of the times with Saban, right? I'm sure you could name some, but people came in pretty draft ready, and they were ready to go. And if anything, they got worse once they got, went to the NFL.
Barry, do you want to reel off all the defensive backs that played at Alabama that went on to the NFL? And I came in on Monday going, Barry, this guy played at Alabama? I don't remember him.
Oh, yeah. John goes all the way back to the Chris Good days, for goodness sakes.
What? They get to the NFL and they're all pros. I mean,
and we did kind of take from this again, Landon Collins' mama face from Sean McVay when he found out that they were actually taking Ty Simpson. I was like, what?
Landon Collins' mama.
Yeah,
that was so good.
She is a cottage industry around here. Landon, we need to have a Twitter account that says Landon Collins' mama.
That was so good.
Anything at all, positive, negative, or otherwise, about Alabama, the way they looked in the A-Day game that either rises or lessens your expectations for them this fall?
Everyone knows. I mean, A-Day game is A-Day game. I mean, it's just it doesn't tell you anything ever. It never has told you. I mean, nothing. It's tough. It's tough to really get anything out of it. I do just miss. The best part of the A-Day game for me was seeing Saban out there in a pink jacket. Like that was the only thing I got out of it. Is like, boy, we got a sharp dressing coach. And then other than that,
he looked good last night as well on the NFL draft coverage.
He was great.
I think he was taking something and letting people run with it. Whenever Peter Woods out of Thompson High School in Alabaster, he didn't go to Alabama like 90% of the college football world thought he would. He went to Clemson. Saban said, we recruited him for 5 years. He takes one visit to Clemson and signs with them. And then that's it. He just lets that kind of marinate a little bit out there. Like, man, they must have really good official visits at Clemson University.
Do you see that? Do you see that interview with Saban, or the interview with Saban and Day? And they asked him,
Ryan Day. No.
Yeah, with Ryan Day, and they asked him, they asked him, how was Caleb Downs when he came to Ohio State? He said he really just wasn't ready. We had to do a lot of coaching and really fix him up, saying that right next to Saban. It was good.
I got to call Bravo Sierra on that because that guy was ready from the moment he set foot on the Alabama campus.
Since he's been in 8th grade.
Josh, I think I hear 4 pregnant women in my ear wanting some coffee or some bonbons or something over there. Are you having to wait on these ladies?
They just went to their there's like a pregnant lady yoga thing going on, and then they're going to go get their 1 cup of coffee that they can have, and then we're probably on duty. So
I hear you. Well, man, have a great time at at the festivities this weekend. We appreciate you hopping on. Love the sunglasses.
Thank you. Got to look festive at the beach.
There you go. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you, buddy. Harris. We'll talk next week.
Yes.
Now, Barry, I understand. Josh Harris, Moneyline Magician. Appreciate him joining us. We'll talk next week. I understand, Barry, that word has gotten to City Hall that I said something complimentary about the Dallas Cowboys and their draft choice of Caleb Downs.
Well, that means one thing.
Yeah. The mayor wants to chime in today. Mayor Stephen Reed joining us here today about that and many other topics. How you doing today, Mayor?
We are so back. Hey, go ahead and get ready to put that name, Caleb Downs, in the Ring of Honor. We've got the next Brian Dawkins. And this was one not even Jera himself could mess up. And so the fact that we've got Caleb Downs at the pick without giving a lot, hey, I had to get up here early today, John. I mean, I'm not even dressed to be here. I don't know if I'm going to get dressed today to be here. But I had to get up here early because last night was just that great. I went to the top shelf in the cabinet last night, and I got some things that I hide in the back from my in-laws when they come. And I open that thing up and listen. We topped it off real nice last night, John Longshore. So Barry, thank y'all for whatever you did leading up to last night's draft. It worked out great for us Cowboys fans. Caleb Downs, Malachi Lawrence.
Yes.
We're in good shape.
I don't know. My big question, number 2, is how in the world did Caleb Downs last until the Dallas Cowboys pick? Because I thought he was the best defensive player in the draft. Mayor, do you agree? I do.
Absolutely. I think everybody gets, fascinated by these workout warriors. And listen, that's great. Ohio State has a lot of them. And again, Alabama and Auburn have some work to do. They're going to catch up on those draft picks there. I mean, you got 240-pound guys running 4.44 and 4.42. That's hard to pass up. But look, Caleb Downs, as y'all just said, and your guest was saying, has been ready since about the 8th grade. You talk about somebody born for it.
Yeah.
He was born ready. And with the Dallas Cowboys defense ranking about 30th and 32nd, doesn't really matter what category, we can use all the help we can get. So I think God smiled on us last night for sure.
Yeah. Also, I got to figure out the context. I didn't see it live when it happened, but Jerry Jones, he had a press conference the other day, and he broke up the entire press conference so he could say hello to former President Bill Clinton. Hello, you guys. Hey, and that was awesome.
I guess when you got those strong Razorback ties, those guys like
that's it.
Bill Clinton, they just pop in, on you just hosting them.
That's it.
I think Jerry does that with his Clinton, Bush, and all the rest of those Texas, Arkansas power players. He's hosting all the time. Man. He's willing to deal.
You better believe it. Yeah, big night for the Cowboys, no doubt about it. My Saints, not real sure who this guy is from Arizona State, the wide receiver, but we'll take him. We need a little help there as well on the outside.
He's good he's good if he's not in. As Bill Parcells said, you can't make the club if you're in the tub.
Yeah.
He stays injured a lot.
Yeah, he does.
That's the big question there, John. I mean, he can play when he's on the field. It's just, can you keep him on the field? And that's going to be a tough one right there.
This is what coaches value. The best ability, Mayor, is availability.
Hey, Mayor, with summer approaching, school's going to be out in about a month or so. I know there's a lot of activities around Montgomery for the youth and the teenage group and whatnot. I know we've talked with you each year about what the city has to offer during the summer months.
Hey, John, Barry, it's a great time right now. The finish line's in sight for all of us as parents. We can appreciate that, John. I know you and I have some of the same travails with teenagers right about now, as do many. And so you're trying to figure out those summer plans. We've got a lot of programming initiatives in place with Montgomery Parks and Recreations. I told Brandon Dean, I said, Wiley Steen has his name on that press box down there at Crampton Bowl for a reason, because it was his show. It was his show year round. You better believe in the summer it was. And so we got a lot of initiatives that we're doing. Just talking with our public works folks, Patrick Dunson, those guys about, our pools and all the things we want to have happen. I mean, we spent a lot of money in community centers, a lot of taxpayer dollars to invest in these over the last several years. And so we want to see our young people and our families take part in them. And we've done some similar things with the YMCA. I happen to serve on the board of the Y. And so a lot of great initiatives, but you can't wait till the last minute. Here I am talking about waiting till the last minute. I'm trying to book a vacation, little weekend getaway right now. The missus came up with that, John. So I'm trying to bail me out. I don't know what you can do on a Friday morning, and you try to get somewhere Friday. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. We get it. Believe me.
We've got a lot of things happening in Montgomery, and you can go to montgomeryal.gov and our Parks and Recs page on Facebook, or Fun in Montgomery as well, Fun at MGM.com as well, and you'll see some of those things. But we're going to have a lot of outdoor recreation. The Sheriff's Department does a great job with like fishing and things along those lines. We're going to kind of piggyback on some of Sheriff Cunningham's initiatives, and then we got our own with our pools, community centers, new basketball courts. There are some fantastic basketball courts. And John, when I walk into the old YMCA over there by Floyd, it's a therapeutic center now. I think it was the South YMCA back in our day. And I can get that first free throw made. It's got to be a rim, Barry, that's real forgiving.
Friendly.
So we're going to have a lot of things for teens and tweens for parents to do. We just want them to sign up early, ask all the questions, and we're looking forward to a lot of those programs, along with some other things. We're doing some golf tournaments and some fine and dandy affairs and other initiatives we have for the adults as well.
So, Mayor, I'm sure you remember, you jogged my memory when you mentioned the South Y. There was always a couple of dead spots on the floor when you were going on the fast break. That ball wouldn't bounce all the way back up.
It's a home court advantage to know where the dead spots are.
And then there was one of the walls, if you had to be out of bounds to throw the ball, and you had to stand sideways because there wasn't enough space between the out of bounds line and the wall.
Hey, John Barry, the Knicks could have used that last night. And So you talk about that. They could have used that last night. I mean, you got some NBA clubs right now that are staring at some deficits. I don't think they were expecting. Look, they could use Nate Oates themselves to give them some coaching advice on this hole there.
Not wrong.
Before we let you go, Mayor, something I've been wanting to ask you for a while, and I thought about it again this morning. How would you rate the city of Montgomery today in terms of, are we more united or more divided in your mind compared to maybe 2-3 years ago?
That's a good one. I think by and large, we've got a lot of synergy. We just cut the ribbon on this Diageo plan, $450 million deal we did with the city and the county and the state. And that's big, because what people don't quite understand is when you have Diageo, now we may know their brands, they may be stocking our shelves, and maybe even not just those at home, maybe in some offices around the city. That's big. It's a global brand. It's a world-renowned brand, and it's one that we did in a joint initiative with other entities. So I think that we're united in a lot of ways around economic development. Whitewater, I think it's kind of gaining some traction. They made some changes there. We've got some great leads going on. I think where some of the division probably comes is around, public safety. But I think we're all united in the fact that we want to, have as little crime as we can. I don't know anybody who likes it.
Right.
And so I think maybe right now we're a little bit better, not where I'd like us to be. And so to the degree that there's some more work to be done, as mayor, you got to wear, that hat as well and try to do a little bit more to talk about the good things and the positive things that have happened with the churches and the nonprofits, the neighborhoods and the community groups, and what they're doing, whether it's the Kiwanis and Rotary, or whether it's your fraternities and sororities and these other groups that are out here always doing good stuff. So I think we, to get to your question, we're probably about a 3.5. I'd like to see us probably at a 4.5. I don't know if you ever get to 5. Love to see us there, but I think we're probably right now at maybe a 3.5, somewhere between 3.5 and a 4. If our rating is not like to see us, no question, over 4, closer to that 4 to 5 range. So we got some work to do. But I do think there's some great things that the community has been doing, and a lot of our leaders have been helping us do it. So I don't want some of the negative algorithms which funnel that stuff to the top to make us forget about things that are happening with the museum, the Shakespeare Festival, Parks and Rec, YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, all of these groups, and certainly with the economic growth that we have here in the city and that's impacting the region overall.
Well, I know if Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed, and again, good luck in planning the trip for the summer and everything, John. I know if it's Stephen Reed and he's looking for the best deals and all that kind of stuff, I know one of his tabs on his computer screen is flymgm.com to get that trip started.
Hey, we got some good news coming down the line on that. I just got that this week.
I'll be texting you after the show. I was actually at the airport. I was at the airport yesterday picking up my daughter, man. It was a lot of activity. The folks coming in on the flight from Houston, the flight from D.C. I was just really happy to see all the activity out there at MGM yesterday. Ran into the interim airport director as well, Lloyd. We talked for a little while as well. He says things are going well out there. Happy to hear it.
We got some good things coming down the pipe. And hey, just for those that don't know, I did get delayed coming back from D.C. So it's not, and that wasn't Montgomery's fault. That was
DC's fault. Yeah.
Put that out there. Delays don't just happen on this side of things when it comes to those flights out of Montgomery Regional Airport. They happen on the other side, even at Hartsfield Jackson, for those that are driving there as well.
Yep. Yeah. Good stuff.
Which they shouldn't be doing that anyway, because that we don't want people to do that. But I hear you. Yeah. It's a bad delay. Oh, I got a bad delay. Hey, delays happen everywhere, folks. Come on.
Great things happening with the Montgomery Regional Airport and with the Dallas Cowboys. That's why the big smile on the face.
My Caleb Downs jersey, guys. This weekend, I'm going to order it. This weekend, I'm going to be rocking that number 2. Just know that.
The mayor is all in on Caleb Downs. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for visiting with us.
All right, thanks, guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Mayor Stephen Reed joining us here this morning. Thanks for he waited on Josh there. We really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. He's always been so accessible and all of that. When we come back, the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Yes.
John is at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Prattville, Alabama. I'm in Huntington, West Virginia. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Travel Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
Well, we're getting there. Sorry about that. Responding to a text while we're on the air here live, Barry.
Well, we're in a commercial break. That's the best
things
time
like
to
that
text.
have to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your buddies, tell your friends. We really appreciate it. Of course, you can check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com through their Facebook page. A lot of people watch that way. Our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, iTunes, just to name a few. Run it through your Bluetooth in your vehicle. People do that a lot as well. We're live from 7 to 9 each weekday morning, but you can listen or watch anytime you want to. That's the beauty of this format. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate our good friends here at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. It's the declaration of sales events going on now. How about, Barry, a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L up to $11,000 off MSRP or 0% for 60 months. New 2026 Jeep Compass up to $5,000 off. This vehicle right here can be yours today.
Do it.
Yeah. How about that? The beautiful Wrangler behind me, the black version there. That's awesome. And, of course, the Ram pickups, the 1500s, the 2500 heavy duties, all come with America's best full-size truck powertrain warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's all here at Stivers CDJR in Prattville.
All right. Things are going well right now for Auburn. I just wanted to sit there and just let that marinate for a moment. The number one amateur golfer in the world is Auburn junior golfer Jackson Coyven. 18 holes to play at the SEC championship. He's 2 shots ahead of some guy named William Jennings from the University of Alabama. Coyven is at 12 under heading into the final round, looking for his 3rd straight SEC title. He would be only the 2nd player to ever accomplish that. And they're going into the final round today. I just thought sometimes you got to throw out that women's tennis wins the SEC championship. If just to get this out there, if he wins today and he's out in front and he's the best in the world, and Auburn men's golf wins, you still roll Toomer's corner. Roll Toomer's corner for the men's and women's, for the men's golf championship, the women's tennis championship. Roll the heck out of it, especially lately.
Well, Barry, did they roll it for the women's tennis team? Do we know that for sure? Is it being confirmed?
I have not confirmed. I've been on the road. I have not confirmed. Maybe, again, we can go to our chat line.
Yeah. And I'm not discounting it. I'm not, dogging it. I'm just saying, I'm just wondering. Just curious.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Okay, let me know.
I hope so. I hope it happens.
Yeah, I kind of
hope it happens.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead. Do it.
Well, I think so too. If you win something like a championship, conference, natties, go for it. I'm in. All right.
In case you're wondering.
All right.
I bring that up, and yes, I have the answer already. Jackson Coyven, if he hangs on today and he's the leader heading into the final, I think he's the final round, looking for his 3rd straight SEC title and would be only the 2nd player to accomplish the feat.
Okay.
I know a lot of people watching us are saying, Huh. I wonder who the only other one to do it was. Was it John Houston? John Houston wasn't at Auburn for 3 years.
True. He wasn't there for 3 weeks, I don't think.
He wasn't there for 2 years. He was barely there for 1 year.
Yeah.
JT? No.
Yeah.
Matthew Swan?
No.
Although I think he took some of John's money as a 14-year-old. It was not him.
Well, it wasn't money, Barry, because we were playing in kind of a real event. It was like an invitational tournament that we were playing in.
Like it doesn't happen at a real, like, wait a minute. Are you saying because it's a real tournament, playing for money is not an option?
No, not at all. And I wanted to be clear about that, because if I was playing in an invitational tournament with some of my buddies, we definitely would have had some money on the line.
But he was like 14 or 15 years old.
I walk up to the first tee box. I see this 8th grade kid. I'm going, well, I can't contribute to the delinquency of a minor. I mean, I can't get him into some action right here. Plus, I'm asking, why you got me paired with this kid? Well, the next thing I know, I'm about 3 down at the turn. I'm thinking, wow, man, this guy can play. He's pretty impressive. So, yeah, that was one of the few times I played
buckle down here.
Yeah.
It's none of those guys. It's not David Toms or, you can name all the ones out there.
Jerry Pate.
Jerry Pate, that's a good one.
Jerry Pate did it, yeah.
No, Calc. It's not Mark Calcavecchio from the university. Any of those guys.
Yep.
It is LSU golfer B.R. McClendon. He won 3 consecutive. Oh, who was the guy from Vanderbilt who was such a great golfer? Will Matthews. No, it wasn't Will Matthews.
I'm looking at Snedeker, Brant Snedeker.
Brant Snedeker. Yeah, I couldn't think of his last name.
Now, is this McClendon guy at LSU? Was he related to former LSU head football coach Charlie McClendon?
Very nice, but no, he spells it differently. B.R. McClendon won 3 consecutive individual SEC men's golf titles, 1965, 1966, and 1967.
No,
it was a little bit easier back then, because back then you only had 10 teams in the SEC.
Yeah, true. I don't think Will Matthews, Vanderbilt golfer, did that, but he had a successful career, I'm told.
He did, yes. And when he says "I'm told," that means he was told by him, as a matter of fact. So, yeah.
Well, you're right. That's exactly what all right, here's the deal.
Yes.
Last night's Daily Dog. Barry, something happened last night that I found really interesting when I was checking the scores today.
Yes.
Every home team dog won the game outright last night. How about that?
Why didn't I know that? I did not.
The Atlanta Hawks, who the mayor referenced, now up 2-1. They beat the Knicks for the 2nd straight time.
Yeah, they had a chance to win it at the end. There was a bad 8-minute stretch there where the Mets had a 4-run lead, but they were in a little trouble, where the Knicks were leading the Hawks. And there was and then the Jets had a first-round draft pick. First-round draft pick, a lot of people didn't like it. The Mets end up losing that 4-run lead, and they lose the game. And Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year last year in the NBA. They actually have a trophy for that.
Yeah.
Had the ball in his hands, didn't make the shot,
Tough.
And the Hawks win.
Tough.
That is good. I did not realize
Man, that's the 2nd time in a row that the Knicks had the last shot and didn't make it. They lost the previous game.
True point.
Missing the last shot. So the Hawks win as a home dog. The Minnesota Timberwolves win as a home dog to lead that series over the Nuggets 2-1. But we want to focus on a game north of the border last night, where the Toronto Raptors were hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland came into that game, Barry, with a 2-0 lead. And I love to look at box scores. I've turned into a box score guy.
Yeah.
So Toronto won the first quarter by 6. Then they lose the second quarter by 6, but
tied at halftime. Tied at halftime. Yes.
Then they win the third quarter by 2. But they win the fourth quarter by 20 points. They outscore Cleveland 43-23 in the fourth quarter to not only win the game, Barry, but they win it as a 3.5-point home dog, who the Phantom had last night. Look at that.
Accept your blessings with gratitude here. Whew. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, what a fourth quarter for the Toronto Raptors at home. Watched a little of that. Was I watching the draft? A little bit of that.
Right.
Watching the Toronto Raptor game? Yes. Watching the Braves? No.
No.
Matter of fact, I don't think I get Braves on YouTube TV. Has anybody found that out for me yet? I asked that question a couple of weeks ago.
And obviously, he does not care enough to find out for himself. It's like, if somebody tells me, I'll check into it, but I ain't looking it up.
I ain't looking. All right, Barry. So, with that win last night, there again, not to get all giddy.
No.
There again, but we are assured of a winning week. At this point right now, we got 3 up and 1 down with 1 more day to go in the week.
Hey, but it all comes down to right now.
And Barry, it's kind of like the Auburn golf team. We don't want to settle that we got 3 wins already. We want to put the hammer down. We want to get local man by the throat, so to speak. We want to go for 4 wins out of 5. So that's what we're going with tonight. We're going back to the NBA, 3 games tonight.
Yep.
All on Prime Video.
Again, 6, 7, and 9:30.
Yep. Triple cast. Love it. Boston at Philadelphia at 6. The Lakers at Houston at 7. The Spurs at the Trailblazers at 9:30. But, Barry, we're going to go with the first game on the slate tonight.
We're going to Philly.
And Philadelphia. This series is tied 1 apiece. Philadelphia is at home.
Kind of a big number.
7.5. Okay. All right. 7.5. No sweat. Might not win the game, but I don't think Boston's covering the 7.5 tonight. So we're going to take Philadelphia out of the 76ers. Charles Barkley, Dr. J, Chocolate Thunder.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah. AI. I mean, you kidding me?
George McGinnis, Bobby Jones, Caldwell Jones. Don't get me started.
Sure.
Andrew Toney.
Yeah. The Spectrum Center, isn't that where they played back in the
Spectrum. Yep, which was right next to Veterans Memorial Stadium with the Vet in Philly.
I've never been to Philly. Never been to Philadelphia. One place I've never been. Don't know why I'd go, but maybe one day I'll go get a cheesesteak. Who knows?
I have been.
But I'm going to take Philadelphia at home, catching 7.5.
I love it.
Barry, can we go 2 nights in a row where all we don't have a bunch of home dogs here. Houston is an 8-point favorite, which I looked at that one. The Lakers coming off a big win. They're leading this series 2-0, and the Rockets are laying 8.5 tonight.
Yeah.
Really smells.
Yeah, no kidding.
Will stinks.
Will Durant even play? You know?
Yeah. And of course, Portland and San Antonio. Little injury issue with the Spurs, but is their big man going to be back tonight? Is he
That's a good question. That's why you lay off of that a little bit. The Spurs made the announcement. He is questionable for that game tonight. That's why you lay off a game like that, because if he doesn't play or if he doesn't play much, that impacts the numbers. So there we go. Okay, make it official. Yeah. What do we got?
The Philadelphia 76ers plus 7.5, hosting the Celtics, 6 o'clock Prime Video. We are taking the 76ers plus the 7.5.
Coming up in just a moment or two, it's our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel to close out our week's worth of live programming on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, we're back at it here, about 15 minutes to the top of the hour on this Friday. I'm live at Stivers CDJR in Prattville, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Why? Because Price sells cars. Incredible inventory, fabulous sales team here to help you out with your buying process. No pressure. They're just here to help you. And, of course, you've seen so many Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles here in Central Alabama. Why? Because the people here at Stivers make the buying experience so pleasant. And bottom line, Price sells cars, and they know that. So does Eddie Stivers. He tells us all the time.
All the time.
Come by and see our friends here at Stivers CDJR in Prattville.
Now, lest we be misconstrued, and I don't, John can speak for himself.
Okay.
I am a big Ty Simpson fan. I think he's a great kid. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he played hurt last year, and he did not have a running game, and fine Christian young man.
Sure.
And I do think that for him, this is obvious, but I feel like it needs to be said, for him, that is a great situation for him to be in with the Rams. And I agree with Josh Harris. He doesn't have to come in and be the guy like Mendoza does for the Raiders, for example. He can learn under the reigning NFL MVP, and he's getting paid a bleep load of money in order to be able to do it. Good luck to him. God bless him and everything.
Yep.
I just don't think he is a number 13 draft pick.
Well, I don't either. I'm going to agree with you. I think Ty Simpson's a great young man.
No doubt.
Great face of the program. I mean, Alabama has got to be extremely proud of the fact that the way he conducted himself, the way he plays, the way he represents the university, all those things are top notch. You can't argue with that. I totally agree. Is he worthy of a 13th pick in the first round? I don't think so. That's just me personally.
I hope he does great.
I hope he does great too. If the Rams did not pick him, would he have, would the Steelers have gotten him later on or somebody else? Maybe so. But to me, to bring in a quarter, and is Stetson Bennett still with the Rams? I mean, when Josh brought that up, I'm thinking, man, they got Stetson Bennett. What are they getting this guy for? But to me, you got to feel pretty good about your roster if you're willing to take a guy to groom over the next 2 or 3 years and paying him a ton of money to do it. I mean, this guy's getting a lot of guaranteed money right off the bat for being such a high #1 draft pick. That's you're putting a lot of investment into a guy that you think in probably 3 years is going to be ready to take over for Matthew Stafford, which, heck, from what I'm hearing, this is Stafford's last year.
I don't know, though. I mean, I know he's old. I know he's been beat around a lot, particularly in his years with Detroit. But I'm with you. They probably are going to groom him to be the starting quarterback later on. Dan Orlovsky from ESPN. I saw a video of him chugging a beer last night because he was the only guy covering or opinioning about the NFL draft that loved Ty Simpson. He thought Simpson was a better quarterback prospect than Mendoza. And finally, he was vindicated, I guess. We'll see how that works out. But
Barry, I will admit, on the way up here to Prattville, I did check in to see if Danny Cannell was say anything about Ty Simpson because he said he was going to be the green room guy. It never got his name picked, and the cameras were going to show him, and the frustration on his face or his girlfriends or his families. And I did think about Danny this morning as I was driving up here. They were talking about somebody else on my drive up here, but he wasn't real high on him. So I'm sure that kind of bit him a little bit. But Mel Kiper, very back. I mean, I remember in October of last year, Kiper and who was the other guy, the draft expert that used to be on ESPN, did some sideline work, had some medical issues, I think, at one time in his life. One of those.
Todd McShay.
Todd McShay.
Yeah.
He was, I'll never forget watching a YouTube clip. He was raving about Ty Simpson. NFL ready. His throws are NFL quality right now, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there going, what am I not seeing here?
We'll see.
What is going on here? So there were some, back in the day early that were high on Ty Simpson that kind of surprised me. Look, I'm happy for the kid. I really am. I hope he makes it. He's in a tough market, but, good point. I mean, being the quarterback at Alabama, you're in a tough market there as well. But that LA media is kind of like that New York media. They're pretty tough on you. But he's got thick skin. I think he can handle it.
Well, I'm just waiting to see. I'm going to be doing a game tonight, so I won't be able to check it out. I'm waiting to see what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be doing with the 56th pick in the draft. That's their first pick, is 24th pick, second round.
What? 56 pick.
Yeah. They had to, remember last year, they had to just about mortgage the entire draft to get Travis Hunter at number 1 last year. They got number 1 pick last year. So, anyway. So,
I mean, they didn't go Ricky Williams, did they, like the Saints did years ago?
We'll see. We sure need some help. Let's get into it. It's our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85, Shorter, Alabama. You can be a winner too. 6 topics, 0 clue what any of them are, and we start with highest yet.
What do we got here?
DJ Hall. Let's see.
That's a good one.
Thomas Hall. The 6'10" player, he returns to Florida. He could have been an NBA draft pick, and we're thinking, whoa, hey, he was a lottery guy. He is returning for his senior season. Gators are going to be all that next year. The 2 things that I am strong on in college athletics: Texas is going to win the national championship in football, and Florida is going to win the national championship in basketball. And I got to think, man, they got him because of some money.
How much are they paying this guy?
$8 million for 1 year at Florida. That will pay him around what he'll make in his first 2 NBA seasons in his rookie contract.
How about that?
So why not?
Why not?
That's where NIL is right now, John.
Yeah.
Where an NBA lottery pick potentially can make the same amount of money as you would if you stayed 1 more year in college. That's what NIL is.
And that's why I think the popularity of college basketball has gotten bigger, because a lot of these kids are staying around. The game's more exciting. I'm all for it. $8 million as a college senior. Whew. That would have got me in trouble.
That would have to. If it's January and it's cold outside and it's Monday and I got that econ class at 8 in the morning, do I need to learn about econ at 8 in the morning on a Monday when I'm making $8 million a year? I'd say econ's working out pretty well for me without taking that class or making that class at 8 o'clock.
Barry, I would have been probably one of these. Coach, I see we don't have a midweek game. We played Saturday. We don't play again till Saturday. Me and the boys I'm chartering a G5, and we're going to head down to the Caribbean for a couple of days. You all right with that?
Instead of North Carolina, Asheville on a Tuesday night at the O-Dome. The thought would cross my mind, I've got to admit.
Yeah, I got to think it would too.
All right, back at it. Here we go.
All right, some more to go. Let's see what we got.
8 million. I did not hear
Victoryland. Yeah, that's amazing.
I knew that about Hawk, but I did not know that. All right.
All right. Hey, Barry, the Lucky Duck is back at Victoryland. The Lucky Duck is back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's capital L, capital D. You could be a lucky duck at Victoryland.
You sure
yourself.
could.
Underdog?
Still? Auburn? No. Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza. I love that guy.
Yeah,
Gosh, I don't know that there's anybody that I've ever rooted for more to make it in the NFL other than Tebow. That's the mentality you got to have. I was picked 1 out of 32. I'm not 1 out of 32. I need to work every single day possible. Yeah, and he was nobody coming out of Columbus High School in Miami, which is the same high school as Mike Shula, by the way. He had a scholarship. He had an offer to play at Yale. There's no scholarships, athletic scholarships in the Ivy. He was going to go to Yale until Cal Berkeley offered him a scholarship from Miami, Florida to Berkeley. Man. He was there as a starting quarterback, beat Auburn one year. Everybody's like, who in the heck is this Mendoza kid, and why can't Auburn stop him?
Didn't Yale beat Auburn too?
That was in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So there, you got to have that mentality. I love that from Mendoza. I am really rooting for that. Guy.
I thought you were talking about my mentality of, hey, didn't Yale beat Auburn too?
Oh no. Do not love that mentality. Don't even like it, to be honest with you. All right, let's go back to it. Here we are.
Let's do it. We got 4 more to go, I believe. Here. Yep. Red, yellow, blue, and green is left on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. What could it be this time?
4 go.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to land on that.
4 go.
4 go.
Which is
4 go.
Oh, yeah. Kentucky Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart. He'd been there forever. He'd been the longest-termed athletic director in the SEC. He announced his retirement, and he was going to be an executive in residence for the UK Sports and Workforce Initiative. It was going to pay him like $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
Out of university funding. And all of the Kentucky people are going, wait a minute. That's golden parachute if there ever was one. If he's not going to be the AD, let him ride off into the sunset. Why are we giving him this cushy job and paying him seven figures? And so there was so much noise about that. Barnhart finally said, okay, I won't do it. I'll just retire.
You know who really screamed about it, Barry, was the governor of Kentucky.
Andy Bashir. Bashir said in a statement, I am losing confidence and growing increasingly concerned with the management and decision-making at the University of Kentucky, where I spent night before last. And it's right. John, he's right. I am, and John has gone on record as being totally against former athletic directors being held on as a fundraiser and all of that. And can we see the numbers on all that fundraising? That is just it's like a gratuity. You've done all right for us over the years, haven't won any SEC football championships, but I'll tell you what, we'll let you retire. And here, take this $1 million a year job that you only have to show up for once a month. That's another show, though, by the way. We don't want to get into John's comments about former athletic directors and having cushy hanger-on jobs and still getting to go to practice and talk to linebacker recruits at the Torch 85.
From Illinois. Yeah.
How do you remember that?
Barry, you know me long enough. There's some things I can just spit out instantaneously. Others, I got to, what was that guy's name again? All right. 3 more to go. Let's see what
had some sort of a health problem. Used to work for ESPN draft expert, but he can tell you about the linebacker from Illinois that coach died. Oh, sorry. Said too much. Back at it. Here we are.
What do we got here?
There we go. Let's move it along.
Yeah, it's going to end up, I think, on the best comeback.
Best comeback, which is not, makes you feel homesick, doesn't it, Dave? That's not the best comeback.
That was pretty dadgum good, though.
China will send giant pandas to Atlanta again. Trump will visit China in about a month, a little bit less than a month.
Yep. All right.
China and the U.S. are not best buddies. Trump's going to go to Beijing to tell them what's what. Ping Ping and Fu Shuang are going to be there, though.
Okay.
The Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. Do you have an entire complex to show pandas,
Yeah, I think you do.
Getting busy?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Anyway, they're going to go to Atlanta. Panda diplomacy.
Yeah.
Lun Lun and Yang Yang gave birth to 7 bears. Pandas don't necessarily like reproducing, is what I've understood.
Oh, okay.
You have to I mean, there's a lot of bamboo shoots involved and privacy and all that. So it ain't as easy as you might think. Hey, get them together and all of a sudden you have pandas. Girl pandas don't like boy pandas.
It's a little courting going on, huh? It's not a one-night stand is what you're telling me.
Yes, they're not talking about moving in and they don't want to change their lives.
I got it.
But there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really like to see it.
I've seen the pandas at the Washington Zoo, Barry. They're very cute.
I don't think I've ever seen a panda before in my life.
Yes. All right.
But
we got two more to go. Let's see what we got. Red and blue. No way. That never happens.
Always. Major campaign. Right. Billboard campaign for Auburn.
It is campaign season.
The University of South Alabama, where my son has a degree, met his wife, great lady, launches the largest capital campaign in school history.
Oh, sweet. Is it $350 million? No, it's actually more.
$400 million to expand educational opportunities, advance innovation, and improve patient care, including funding for the USA Health, which is a great place, a new College of Medicine building, a new Jags marching band complex. Look, I've seen South Alabama's marching band. It ain't much. Why do you throw that in there? Hey, USA Health, College of Medicine, School of Marine and Environmental Sciences down in Mobile, and a building for the band?
So, Barry, they're spending $400 million to enhance and improve the educational experience for the entire university, where Auburn's spending $350 million adding premium seating to the football stadium.
Which one do you think gains John's respect? Yeah, which one promises the most return on the investment dollar? We'll let you make that decision.
Yeah, like again, as Coach Bryant said, they're not buying tickets to go see a
math class.
A math class.
Yeah.
All right, one more to go to make it official here. We got to spin it. You know how it goes. It's going to be Lost the Belt, I believe. Is this
so let's go ahead and get ready.
Is this Coach Dye again?
He lost the whole pants. Carlos Olberg, light heavyweight champion at UFC 328. He misplaced the belt. He said, I've lost the belt, bro. Initially, after winning, the plan was not to have a drink, but you know how these things go, right? Someone gives you champagne to celebrate, then one thing leads to another, and you're doing shots, and then all of a sudden you lose your title belt. So he lost it. He lost it because he got drunk. Always drink responsibly.
Yes. Come on.
According to our sponsor and according to the rules of life. How about that? You win the belt. You win the championship. You say, I'm not going to drink. Then all of a sudden, here comes a little champagne. And comes, then all of a sudden, hey, what I do with my belt?
Yeah, come on.
Carlos Olberg can know better.
Also got to be responsible, Barry, when it comes to your transportation needs. That's why we recommend you see our friends here at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer, and the declaration of sales events are going on right now. Great deals on the Ram truck lineup, the Jeep lineup, Chryslers and Dodges. Folks, come by and see our friends right here today on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville.
Yep, Monday, lots of big things coming up as we get into another week of Longshore McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.